So, Greg, I'll start with yourself. The first tour of its kind for an Irish women's team, aside from the fact that you're playing 2 test matches, what are you hoping and expecting to get from these next couple of weeks?
That's a good question. Good start, Neil. I think every coach in this position would say that you're hoping to see growth and development, like as more so off the field as well as on it. We've had a group of players that have been training for the majority of the summer, and then we've been in camp for the last week, and the energy has been really impressive. There's definitely been an increase in our execution rates and our just our all-around energy, which has been really important. So just looking to have fun as well as being very serious about being competitive for 2 tests. So it's about getting that balance right on any tour. So for us, we're leaving now today, and it's about making sure that we get our travel right. And we have, in the background, we have, for example, like our nutritionist, Anne-Marie Mulholland, and we have Ed Slattery, who's our head S&C, have done a huge amount of work with our medical staff in the background to make sure that we have all the relative time zones covered from a nutritional point of view, from a sleep point of view. It's about performing as well. We want to show people what this team is made of, and we can't wait to get out there and get into 2 tests.
Nichola, from your own point of view, this is a very exciting summer. Like, not only have we got the tour, but in the last few weeks you've the announcement of Gillian McDarby's appointment, the announcement that they're going to be extended contracts for 15 players. There's a lot happening this summer for yourselves.
Yeah, like it's great. It's been a really positive few months, I suppose, like with the announcement of the Japan tour. That was a boost for all of us after the 6 Nations, knowing that we were going to get 2 quality kind of tests in the summer and get the opportunity to tour as a squad, which is so important for a team to be able to go and play some rugby and have some downtime together as well. And then I suppose the announcement of Gillian and the contracts, like it's great news, and like for us as players, like it's such a huge step. Like I think for me personally as a player, if you asked me when I first started if I'd ever get that opportunity, I probably would have said I don't think I will, but I think it's brilliant now that it's gone that way for women's rugby. And for us though, we're just focusing back onto Japan for the next 2 weeks, and we hope that we can get some 2 quality matches.
And just finally then for me, Nichola, can I ask you just about yesterday's announcement about the IRFU following World Rugby's guidelines on trans women in women's rugby? Just as Irish captain, can you speak about your own thoughts on the announcement?
For me, like at this time, like I don't really want to kind of make any like answers on that, because I'd like to know more about the whole the whole situation and like the laws and stuff like that. So for me, I'm just going to be focusing on Japan, and I think that's something that we can review in a few weeks.
And just to clear up, were the players kind of consulted by the IRFU about their own feelings on it?
Not that I know of, but like it's not something that I think that we like would be consulted on. I don't know.
Thanks very much, Nicola. Thanks, Greg.
Cheers, Neil.
Thanks.
Happy folks, things.
Joe, how are you? How's it going?
Good. Just start off with yourself, Greg. I know that you had 51 players in the summer training camp, but you're bringing 29 on tour. How happy are you with the progress you're making in deepening and strengthening the squad?
Yeah, really happy. I think I'm really happy with the staff that we have assembled. Kind of under the radar, we have John McKee in with me, who was the Fijian men's national coach for 2 Rugby World Cups. He coached Connacht before. He's coached in Claremont. I've worked with John in the past, and we see the game similarly. And he'd worked with David Nucifora before. And he's come in now, and he's been just outstanding. And to have him with me is truly excellent. And also Dennis Fogarty is in as our scrum coach, which again is another really important appointment. And we also have Ed Slattery, who's come over from men's sevens to be our head S&C coach, and also we have Roisin Murphy, who's come in as a head physiotherapist. I think the relevance of that and the importance, again, from a growth point of view, is it's the first time we've ever had a full-time head S&C coach and a full-time physio with the program. And that's significant because, the care that the players are getting has always been there, but now it's just gone to that next level. And then of course we have the players who, firstly have come in and trained, and I think once the squad was announced, everything ramped up as you'd expect. We've got 4 players who have just completed their leaving cert, and they're here because they're talented, and they're here because they've got lots to offer. And then we have really good experience, and then we've got players who are still 21, 22 that seem like veterans at this stage. So it's a really exciting squad. And as I said to you, we had a particular vision. Myself and Nichola would have sat down with the senior leadership. We have a vision into how we want to play, how we want to inspire, and how we want to represent the country. And we're just striving every day to get there, and this is another chance for us to test ourselves. But I am buzzing to get to Japan, because there's a lot of work's gone into it, a lot of work behind the scenes, from Dave Nusafora, from Gillian coming in, even Katie. The work that Gemma Crowley is doing is phenomenal. So many people are contributing to this. I think that's what's making it really special, is because there's so much collaboration, and it's exciting for the players, and I'm just so proud of them and how much work they put in. It's really inspirational, and I hope they can go out now and hopefully do well in Japan. That's the plan.
What do you say to those players? You're bringing 8 uncapped players. 4 of them, as you say, have just sat their leaving cert. So what do you want to see from them? What are you telling them to go out and do? Is it express themselves? Is it bet into the team? What do you want them to get out of this tour?
I think I need to bring you with me for our team talks, because that's exactly it. They're talented. They've got really good footwork, good game awareness, good in contact. I just want them to be able to express themselves, and there's no pressure on them. There's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose for this squad. We're not going to the Rugby World Cup. This is a chance for us to get ahead of the chasing pack and establish ourselves. We've seen in the past that, like, post Rugby World Cup in the women's game, there's a high turnover of staff and players. So for us now, it's about establishing our pillars, being really clear on our vision, and to see these young players. Wait till you see some of these girls play. And they're coming from, 4 of them are from Offaly. You're from Offaly as well, right? It's unbelievable. Like Tullow and Tullamore, the work they're doing in the Midlands is outstanding. It's a story within itself, and there's a lot of coaches who've been down there for years. You were there, I'm sure, as a young player, just doing so much work, and we're seeing this talent coming through. They've been involved in the Leinster underage setup. They've played Irish 18s now. The game is changing, and we've got these athletes that are ready to rip it up, and I can't wait to see them play. So excited.
Yeah, and the chance to go on tour, and obviously, look, you're going to play and test yourself, but also you're going to spend time together. You're going to form those bonds, and you become, more than just teammates. You become mates. You form relationships and friendships. How important is that in building the team culture?
Yeah, 100%. It's so important. If we're to compare it to a Six Nations block, we get 2 or 3 weeks kind of weekend camps together, and then you're straight into a tournament. So to be going on tour for 2 weeks and 3 weeks in total, and be spending nearly every living minute together, it does bring you very close together as a group. And to me, that's invaluable time, because you create the friendships, you have the crack, you're able to kind of experience the culture. And I think that's what this tour is about, is that we go and we play rugby and we work hard, but we also get to enjoy being in a place like Japan, which is amazing, because for the majority of us, none of us have been there before, so it's such an experience to be going somewhere like that for our first tour.
And how impressed have you been with the younger players coming in?
Yeah, the girls that have come in, they've shown themselves straight into it. We had an accelerant program the last few weeks in Dublin here, and the girls have just absorbed all the information like sponges, and they're really stepping up now on the pitch. And we've had some of our best sessions to date this week, and I think that's huge for us, because you can come together as a group, and it can take a few days for it to start to gel, but we've hit the ground running, and it's just been a really positive start to the tour.